In this video, we are going to analyze how a simple thing like this one became something like this. Keep watching. Welcome everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's always a pleasure to welcome you here in my studio. For the purpose of this video, we're going to do something very interesting. I'm going to expose the entire production process behind my album NYUR. So NYUR is all about using a ringtone of my phone as a one sample challenge right in Logic. And for the purpose of this specific video, we are going to make a track, or at least something that is not far from a complete production, from scratch with another sample, with another ringtone. So let's check here. Whatever we have, everything is gone here. I'm going to start right away from scratch, nothing in there, and the first thing I'm gonna do in Logic is choose the ringtone, the victim. Oh my. So how can we make music with something like this? You might wonder. Well, I just drag it to my synths channel and use the granular alchemy here, and we just wait a few seconds, and here we are in alchemy. So I just, what do we have here? Okay, here's my Boing sample. It's not even looped anything, so it's just this. The first thing I'm gonna do while I'm using granular is set the speed to 0%, or let's say maybe less than 1%, just like this. We have something interesting here. Let's expand the size of the granular and the density of grains. A bit of this and that. Okay, sounds like a drone actually. Let's say, hey, let's call it Boing drone, just for the sake of this demonstration. I think we are on the E key, so I'm... I really like this drone actually, so we're gonna use it right away here. I'm gonna make this one a bit smaller for now, just for now, and put it on the side, make this just something like that, go back to the beginning, and I think the original C3 is gonna be good enough. Let's set the tempo to 60 BPM because it's going to be ambient for the purpose, and let's make sure that we save this as, yeah, somewhere here, NYUR 2 here, NYUR 2 Boing. It's going to be the track title, by the way. Ha! Funny or not. And here we are. Boom. Okay, it's saved. So we have this, And now we have 1 bar of this, and I'm going to stretch the MIDI region until it reaches like 112 bars, something like that. Yeah, let's close it for now. Just make sure that we note force the legato, so the note takes the entire space, and let's just hear what's going on here. I really like it. Let's add some reverb. The secret sauce for me is Silververb. Not many people know this, but it's an amazing reverb unit right inside of Logic. And let's just make sure that we are not going too wide. So I'm going to use a direction mixer just to make sure that everything behind 300 Hertz is right in the middle. And okay. I hear something. After a while the sound will completely fade out, so this is not what I want. So I need to reopen this guy quickly, make a few adjustments here, not in the speed, because the speed is alright, but in the position. And I would like to do something a bit nasty. I'm going to modulate this with an LFO, unipolar for the sake of this process, 8 bars. We're just gonna give that little bit of, and you see it's going to go back and forth, which means that I can even slow down the speed here to less than 0.5%. We are a tenth a tenth of a percent here, and let's. You know what? I'm really happy with this. What I'm gonna do is bounce it in place right away. So, Boing drone. This is gonna be the name of the audio file. Everything, including the effects, just as is. You see, it takes a while bouncing regions, but it really pays off after a while, especially since we are going to be working with granular synthesis and spectral synthesis and probably additive and everything. So without even talking about the plugins we're going to add here. So where's my sound? The sound is here. It's amazing, isn't it? Really like this one. So we're gonna take the same Boing to another alchemy, and this time we're gonna use what about Spectral? Okay, same thing. Really happy with that. And the next thing we're gonna do is this. Okay. You know what? I like those keys here. So we are going to set up an arpeggiator. Okay, yeah, 15 and 19. And we are going to make it 6 steps long. And you see this position here, I'm going to slightly, very slightly, subtly randomize this by just a little bit. Let's add some cloud or blur. Just going to bandpass a little bit just to make sure that it remains inside the frame. Really happy, except for the signal that's very low. So we're gonna boost it a little bit, and I can boost it further with the use of a drive. And I'm gonna use this to add a modulation, a new envelope. And you know what? Because I'm a very bad guy, I'm going to use the comb filter here. You put it to C4, that's the secret, that's the secret sauce here. You add a modulation, note property, key follow, and you set it to maximum here. And you don't have to force your volume anymore. And furthermore, you can start adding interesting effects, such as let's use silver verb once again. Woo! It's definitely a C after all, but there are so many harmonics in this drone, so you have to pay attention to that. So, you know what? I'm gonna do this 3 and 4 and as we have 6 steps here, I'm gonna loop a 3-bar sequence. You will see Actually, that's another master trick. If you have a sequence that is actually playing 6 steps, if you use 3, 6, or 9 bar sequences, patterns that you just keep repeating, they will loop themselves. And so you do this, and it's going to be Boing Arp. You know what, for the sake of this, because it's clipping a lot, and I hate when it clips, I'm gonna use a little bit of filter, multi-mode filter, with a bit of drive. And why not? Let's add some modulation here, another random on the panning. To make it a bit more interesting. And you know what? I would like to do something a bit crazy here for this one. So I'm going to make it a full section. Make sure that everything, well, you know what? We can actually layer this way. We can layer the notes. We merge the notes so it becomes a single note for the entire thing. And let's just, for this one, bounce this one in place without the plugins, and you will see why in a second. Because there is something I love doing. I'm gonna show you as soon as it's finished bouncing. It's a bit of a process, of course, having to bounce tracks like this, but the good thing is you get used to it. And I systematically bounce, print everything to audio tracks because it's way easier to deal with after a while. You will see in a minute. So we are almost there, and I told you it takes a while because it's taxing the CPU a lot. I know that my computer is like 12 years old, but still I would say it's quite normal when, you know, using spectral synthesis, formants, and additive synthesis on top of the granular thing and the granular engine. And here we have the Boing Arp, and you see that by bypassing the effect plugins, the silver verb is still there with all the settings. But you will see why I did this in a second. So we have, I want it to be exactly 112 bars long. So you have this. And when you solo this, it's quite experimental, so it's going to overdrive a lot. But we're gonna have to use a lot of distortion. But it's not the end of the world after all. So I'm going to just copy this track here, this region, to another track. And now I'm going to use flex time, and I'm going to set the algorithm to speed. As we have 112, you have to divide it by 2. This is 56. So you set this to 56, okay? And now what you're gonna have is something like this. And let's say 56 divided by 2 it becomes 28. You see where it's going. So I love both, so I'm going to use both. and you will see with the entire arrangement what it's going to become. So I'm going to duplicate this one once again and set this to 28 bars. Now I have these three arps together. Of course, it's clipping the bus a little bit because we are way too loud, but you understand the process. So from there, you can even add some effects here. Let's say I want to add, and I said only Logic plugins. So let's stick to that promise. Let's keep that promise, and let's use something like this guy that I like a lot. And you see there are the textures, the ghost rhythms. And in the ghost rhythms, you have the 120 BPM, which is exactly double 60 BPM after all. We're going to use that, and you will see what's going to happen now with these three things. Oh yeah. Remember, we are starting from this, okay? So let's listen in context with everything else. Well, just that drone after all. And you know why? I'm going to use something on the entire bus, as I have so many buses anyway. And we're going to use the filter here. Let's just make sure there is no LFO on this thing. And here, of course, we need a reverb on top of whatever we have. A long one, of course. And now we have this. But let's say I just want this on the three arps here that are playing together. Let's stack them, summing stack. And you see the stack is Arp combo. It becomes a combo, but it remains attached to the synths bus that I created. So in which case, the only thing I have to do is take this step effects here and set it to the channel I've just created. And now we have this. So you also discover that it's still sending the stuff to bus 42 here, which is attached to bus 10. So you hear the filtered audio with the unfiltered reverb, which is exactly what you don't want. So for the sake of this, you just take the combo here and just add the return 1 and the return 2 as well. We might need it at some point, who knows? And let's do this. And now we have exactly what I wanted. So interesting. Let's go further with this madness, but let's cut a little bit here of the edit in the edit because it's getting long. But you will see. So step effects on this one too, and of course the filter on the drone as well, because I'm gonna have to use this. So I really like this one, and that one I will keep here very low so you don't get to hear it right away. We can also check everything else, you know, all the options in this incredible step effects. And we can also try the fat effects, which is here in my case in this folder, and we can use a filter here and have something like a ring modulator, an LFO, just in the background. Ah, okay. Well, actually, this is what I wanted. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Let's put another reverb here. I know there's a lot of reverb, but that's a secret sauce of every single ambient recording that I know. And let's keep it not too wide. And let's combine that with the Boing Arp combo that we've just created. You see, it's already taking shape from there. So let's go back to the Boing sample. And let's do something different here. I'm going to erase the plugin on this channel, and we are going to do something different. Let's use Alchemy again, this time in granular mode. This is a C. Yeah, that's the C. Actually, I don't want any granular. I want a simple sample here. And instead of making it super difficult, you know what we're gonna do? Okay. This is what we're gonna use, forward back. And we can set up this. I like it, but not for the purpose of this video. Let's make it bigger. Yeah. Just make sure that the start and it went a bit too far. You see, it's a bit nerdy. It's a bit of a nerdy process, but it's when you have something like this. Okay, I have something. I think we have something here. We only have to. Okay, we have something that sounds a bit like a bass. So let's make it a bass, actually. As simple as that, we use this. And we're going to use a comb filter. Again, same modulation, note property, key follow. Still a bit high. That's a C. And to make sure that it doesn't loop crossfade. And you can also set the crossfade points here in Alchemy. It's I understand that it's a bit of a nerdy process for most of you, but it's really cool to do, to be able to do something like this. You know, the one sample challenge is something. Okay, and for the cutoff that's on the second filter for this one, I'm going to use an LFO. I'm going to sync it to BPM. Make sure that we have something like a ramp down. And you know what? Just check at this speed. That's the Boing. And you know what? Let's record this. Okay, we have an idea. I'm not gonna loop this. I'm just gonna be as nasty as usual. In this case, I'm gonna make it longer. Just shorten. We have to, and that's going to be Boing baseline. And because I don't want my CPU to choke at some point, I'm going to bounce this in place as it is. Of course, it takes a while. I know that many people cannot wait, and that's the thing. Most people have no patience anymore in 2021. That's what I discovered. So it's very frustrating because when I get to teach people around me how to do this or that, which happens quite often, they say, "Yeah, but this is too long. This is too tedious. This is too nerdy." And I'm like, guys, this is the only way to actually do something cool that no one else is doing. So here's one of those little tricks. Just to make sure that it's not getting out of phase in the low end. I'm gonna do this. Keep it in the middle. And this is where it becomes interesting, because now I can just say, hey, I want the stereo padding on this one to be more like this, and then not sure about the low end of this sound, so we're gonna use this. This is not the right track. Sorry about that. Here's the right track. Cool, isn't it? So we have this bass line, and now I would like to, you know what, let's make a pad out of this. Yeah, so it's only gonna take like a few minutes to get this done. So let's go here, filter, clear modulation. Okay, for pads, something very evolving and everything, the comb filter is exactly what you need to use. But in the case of this, I would use a granular. A bit more density. Okay. We have something. I changed the comb filter, a bit more feedback, a bit less damping. So what's going on here? The entire thing, which is the sample, granular, playing some sort of texture here, like noise, and through a comb filter like this, which is, by the way, polyphonic, you can start making textures like pads. And here we are. A bit more release. A bit more. Yeah, quite like it. Let's try it out with a good reverb, of course. Oh yeah. And let's add some step effects right away. And something randomly, you know, like this. Maybe not. In the background. You can tell here at the performance meter, whenever I play a note, how much CPU it taxes. It's quite a lot, especially when working with a lot of tracks. So you know what? I'm going to layer two step effects with different. Yeah. Okay, something like this. So. So I'm definitely going to record this. I think if I keep going like this, the video will be like 4 hours long. So let's keep it to a bare minimum, and let's say that I'm pretty much on a good path here with this track for the rest of this day. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you would like me to do more of these little experiments with you guys right away while filming myself. I would be happy to share all my secrets and many more. Thanks once again for watching. Please consider subscribing if you like this video, and see you in a future tutorial video in Logic Pro 10. Ciao, ciao.